Hello everyone, this is Alex Masishev of Antilion, the developers of DITAToo DITA CMS. Welcome to the webinar on team collaboration that we're conducting in association with our partner IDTP. IDTP provides services and consultancy for content and document production. Their clients are documentation departments, corporate publishers and publishing industry, learning and training centers, and so on. IDTP helps you get the work done and implement new systems for content management, authoring, or content automation. Wim Hochwinkel, who is my co-presenter, is the founder of IDTP. Many of you also know him as the founder of the annual Information Energy Conference targeted at information professionals. Wim, you can say hello.
Hello all, welcome to be here.
Yeah, today
Wim
and I are going to show you how DITAToo DITA CMS allows various teams within the organization to work collaboratively while letting each team stay in the comfort of the tools they got used to. We are going to emulate a use case when several people are involved into the content process. The process will start with a developer who writes technical specs in MS Word and uploads the document to the central content repository. Then, the graphic designer will upload some graphics to the central repository. These graphics will be later used by the technical writer. Once the document and graphics are there, the technical writer, who also has access to the content repository, automatically converts the developer specs from Word to DITA and begins working on them in DITA using a DITA editor. When a topic is ready for review, the technical writer who finished working invites the developer to review the topic. The developer reviews it online using just a web browser, suggests changes, and adds comments. Then the technical writer goes through the suggested changes and decides whether to accept or reject each of them. And when all topics are reviewed this way, the technical writer generates a PDF of the entire document and the developer reviews it again. What's interesting in our flow is that the tools that different people will be using. The developer, graphic designer, and technical writer all have different goals and therefore different needs. For example, technical writers likely want to have all content management capabilities like tracking content reuse, managing content variations, translation management, release management, and so on. So technical writers also usually don't have a problem with using a DITA editor. So technical writers can use DITAToo DITA CMS that gives them all content management features. The developers and graphic designers don't necessarily need a full-blown CMS. They just want to be able to add and update their own content using the tools that they got used to and have some basic features like check-in, check-out, version control, and workflow management. But they still need to have an ability to access the central content repository, the same repository that the technical writers use. So the developers and graphic designers will use a tiny but very sophisticated tool that silently runs in the background and lets them access the repository from within their tools, whether it's MS Word, Photoshop, Visio, Notepad, or anything else. This tool is called DITAToo Virtual Drive. DITAToo Virtual Drive mounts the central database-driven content repository as a local drive on your computer. Depending on the availability of drive letters on your computer, you'll get another drive, F, G, H, or whatever letter is available. It's not a real drive. It's the repository that pretends to be a local drive. This means that now you can access the central repository from within any application, whether it's a DITA editor, Word, Photoshop, Paint, Notepad, or anything else, without the need to code an application-specific plugin or add-on. DITAToo Virtual Drive is also integrated into Windows Explorer So you can check in, check out, view the version history, and change the workflow state directly in Windows Explorer 2. So this is the tool the developer and graphic designer will be using. Vim will be wearing the hats of the developer and graphic designer. Vim is located in Utrecht, the Netherlands, and will be accessing the central repository from there. I'll be playing the role of a technical writer. I'm in Tel Aviv, Israel, and will be working with a central repository from here. Each of us will be sharing his own screen, so you can see how each content contributor works with the central repository. The microphones of all attendees are muted, but if you have any questions, please feel free to type them in the chat window, and we'll be happy to take them in the end of the webinar. We are recording the webinar, and the recording will be available to you after the event. So, first of all, I want to show you the user interface that I, as a technical writer, will be working with. This is DITAToo DITA CMS. On the left, you can see the contents of the central repository. The repository is a database located on a server to which both Vim and I have remote access. To keep things in order, we prepared this folder structure. The developer is going to put the specs to the input from developers folder. The graphic designer will be putting images here to the images folder. Neither the developer nor the designer needs to have DITAToo. I, as a technical writer, need it because I want to have all content management capabilities, but developers and designers will use DITAToo Virtual Drive. So now we're moving to Vim, who is wearing the developer's hat and is going to show us how he can add his specs to the central repository using DITAToo Virtual Drive from within MS Word. Over to Vim.
Good morning, all. So I will share my screen. Main screen, okay, show my screen. I hope you can see it. I will switch to my developer's desktop. I'm a developer in Utrecht. I will prepare a document with diagnostics for the technical writer that he can use in his technical writing work. First, I'll show you I have a drive on my PC, and I'll show you the Windows Explorer. It's named the P drive on my system. And actually, this is the DITAToo database. You can see this is the same folders that Alex had in his DITAToo screen. And I'm going to put my document in the input from developers folder later on when it's ready. Oh, it's still there, so I have to delete the old one. Okay. Let's make the document. I'm a developer. I wrote some specs for diagnostics or whatever. It's just an ordinary Word file with simple formatting, nothing special, nothing fancy, some tables in it, etc. All I have to do now to make it ready for Alex to be used in DITAToo and to convert it to DITA topics, I have to add a table of contents that can be used to identify topics in the Word document. As you can see, I'm just using my own tools. I'm using the Dutch Word on Windows. Now I'm ready with the document. I can save it and then give it to Alex for further working on it. So I go to File and save the document as. Now I go to my virtual drive folder. So I'm looking for the P drive. It's somewhere here. I go to the input from developers folder, and here I can save the file, diagnostics, and I call it updated, so we know it's a new file. I just save it, and as you can see, I save it on the P drive, and that's actually the database. But me as developer, I only know about shared drive. I don't know what's behind it normally. It's saving now the document. I can close it and work. When I switch to my Explorer and I go to the P drive, to the folder from developers, I can see the new document there. Now I have to do two things to make it ready for Alex. I can right-click the file with my mouse, the right mouse button. I choose the context menu of DITAToo, and I say check in. I check in the file, new file for working. So I just give some comments that somebody knows what it's about. And the next step I need to do, or I can do, is again right-click the file, choose the DITAToo menu, and I change the workflow state of the file. And that will be an indication for the technical writer that he can pick it up and start working on it. So it has initial state because it's a new file, and I'm going to change it to ready for authoring, because that's what we have talked about our company. That's a good state for the authors. Okay. And now I'm ready. I'm done with the Word file. So I'm going to change heads. I'm going to another place in the company, and now I'm not a developer anymore, but now I'm a graphic designer. And I've designed a button for our software. It's a very nice button, so I want to put it in the manual as well. So what can I do now? I design the button as a graphic, and I go to the file menu, and I will save it in the database or on the virtual drive, so the writer can use it in the manual. So save as, and again I have to go to the right folder on my system where the database is, the P drive on my system. I can go to the content and then images, and here I will save the file. It's already there, but I want to save a new some additional new buttons PNG file. Okay, save. Now it's saved in the database. All right, so I can close this now. I can again go to the P drive, to the folder in Explorer, and also this file I have to check it in because it has been this new file, and before it can be used, I have to release it for the other users of the database. DITAToo, check in the file, and I said it's a new image for the buttons. Okay. And also this one I can assign to the technical writer by changing the workflow state. I say it's now not initial, it's ready for authoring, so it can be used. Okay. So now I'm ready with the image. I'm ready with the Word file. So we can go back to Alex, the technical writer, and see what he can do with the things I made. Alex. Are you there?
Oh, yeah, sorry, my microphone was muted.
Okay.
Hello again. So I'm back to my workplace, and this is again DITAToo. This is the primary tool that I, as a technical writer, am using. The workflow can be set up in a way that sends a notification email to me after the developer and designer change the workflow state to ready for authoring. So now, once the developer specs in the repository, I can see the document from the DITAToo user interface. And I can also see the image that the designer, Vim, has added. I have now a couple of options how I can start working with the developer specs. One option is just to start a new data topic, open the Word document in parallel, and start writing. Or I can take the Word document written by the developer as is and use DITAToo to convert it to Dita automatically. This can give me a developer stuff already in Dita as a starting point, and I can take it from there. So I'm going to create a new folder for the converted Dita. I'll call it Word2 Dita. And I'm going now to import the Word document stored in the repository. And as you can see, I'm also using a DITAToo virtual drive. On my computer, it has the letter F, and it represents the database-driven repository. So I can pick up the Word document, which is stored in the repository, and ask DITAToo to convert it. This will take a few moments. DITAToo automatically converts even unstyled or poorly styled Word documents to DITA. It also recognizes information types. So I'm getting here concepts and tasks. And we can preview a concept. The preview is generated using just a default style sheet. And we can also take a look at the XML source to make sure that this is a standard valid data. Nothing proprietary was added. We can also take a look at one of the tasks. Again, just to make sure that we've got a standard valid data task. So this was done automatically, and as you could see, the Word document created by Vim the developer was quite poorly styled, but DITAToo does not care. It just converted the Word document to standard valid data. And also, if we go to the projects tab, we'll see that DITAToo also created a data map that resembles the structure of the original Word document. So if I want to, I can modify this map right here in DITAToo without even using a data editor. Now I can work on the converted topics. DITAToo is data editor agnostic, so you can use whatever authoring tools you prefer. Oxygen, Xmetal, Content Mapper, FrameMaker, and so on. In this particular demo, we are going to use Oxygen. So I'm just double-clicking on the topic that I want to edit. And because Oxygen is specified as my default editor, the topic is opened in Oxygen. So this is what the developer wrote, and I start rewriting it. Okay. I can also add a new paragraph. And I also want to add an image, the image that the graphic designer uploaded to the repository. Here's the image. Here it goes. And when I am done, I save the topic, close it in Oxygen, and go back to DITAToo and check it in here back to the repository. Now I want the developer to review it. So I'm changing the workflow state to ready for review, and I'm assigning this topic to Vim. I can also generate a PDF and attach it to the email, but I want Vim to review this topic online. I don't want him to review the PDF. So now in DITAToo we can see that the topic is ready for review and it's assigned to Vim. And Vim is now supposed to review it and make his suggestions. And now we're going back to beautiful city of Utrecht. Vim, over to you.
Thank you, Alex.
I'm going to make you the presenter, so you can so you can share your screen.
All right.
Okay, the floor is yours.
Right. So now I'm in Utrecht, and I just received a message from the technical writer that I have to review some topics. Let's see where it is. It's in the mail. So it says, it notifies me that there's a change in the workflow state, and I have to, it's assigned to me, and I have to do some review. It's in the folder Word2Data, concepts, diagnostics, explanations, etc. So now I'm not at my regular place, so I will not use my desktop tools, but I will go for the online Oxygen XML web author to review the file. So I'm not using the DITAToo interface or the virtual drive now. I'm just going to the webDAV folder. I think I have to refresh because it's displaying the wrong. Okay. Again. I'm sorry. I was logged in with the wrong credentials apparently. Try it again. Go to webDAV, and I have to go to the right folder. In a normal working environment, this all will be fixed, and then you won't have the problem. No, I don't see the folder.
From developers. It's yeah.
Oh, you made a subfolder. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So there it is, and here's the file that I have to review. So I open it in the web browser. This is the file. I can do some comments. I can remove some terms. I can remove the space that's here. And I say, well, this is a new section, so I can make some changes. I can even add a note and say, well, remove this image. It's not nice. Okay, so I don't like the graphical designer, as you can see. Okay. Now I have made some changes. I can save it, and the document is saved in the repository because I have no access. I close it now, and when on closing, it will also be checked in the database. If I go back to my desktop and I go to the P drive, I can see again. Wait a minute. I have to refresh my connection, I'm afraid. Strange. Normally, I'm sorry, but I think that we changed the connection and now my database is not being.
We were playing around with the repositories.
Sorry. So
it happens.
You can go ahead, Alex, and start.
Yeah, right. So basically, what Wim was going to do is just to change the workflow state of the file. But suppose he's done that, and now it's my turn to go through the changes suggested by Wim and decide whether I want to accept or reject each of them. Okay, so basically this is the topic that Wim was working on, and I can double click on it. And because I specified Oxygen as my default editor, it's opened in Oxygen, and I can see now all the changes and comments that Wim added. So now I can just go through all of them and decide whether I want to accept or reject them. Now that's one, let's say you want to reject. Okay, and I can see his comments about removing the image. So I'm going to remove it, and that's it. When I'm done, I'm going to save this topic and check it in back to the repository. Suppose now that all our topics are reviewed and I, as a technical writer, want to generate a PDF, and this time I want the developer to review it as a whole, just to show you an alternative way to do reviews. So in DITAToo, I can publish the entire document, let's say to PDF. And as you can see here, I can specify that I want to put the resulting PDF to the repository rather than on a local computer. So because F actually represents the database, the repository, I specify that I want to put it here. I can apply my custom access cells and run the publishing. So right now, DITAToo is publishing through DITA Open Toolkit, but it can be anything else. We have customers that are using WebWorks ePublisher for publishing. Some of our customers are using FrameMaker as their publishing engine. We also have customers that are using Antenna House. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a DITA Open Toolkit, but it could be. So it's now creating the PDF with a customized look and feel. Don't judge me too strong. I've created this custom look and feel very quickly, just to give you an idea of how it works. So this is the PDF. And as you can see, it's stored in the repository so that everyone who has sufficient access privileges can access it. So at this point, I want to check it in. And now I want Vim, the developer, to review the PDF and add comments to the PDF. So I'm changing the workflow state of the PDF to, again, ready for review, and assign it to Vim. So Vim, over to you. You're now supposed to receive, again, an email notification.
Yeah. If you switch screen, then I can show it.
Sure. Okay, I'm making you the presenter. Over
That's
to you.
fine. Show my screen. And now I'm just waiting for the message to come in. As you can see, I reconnected to the database. There was a kind of miscommunication because we changed some things in the setup of the webinar. There's my notification. There's something going on. I have to check the PDF. And this mail is just a line with the path. In the next release of DITAToo, this will be a hyperlink to be able to click on it and then go directly to the web-based editor or another editor that opens the file, so you don't have to look for it manually like I have to. So it should be in the output folder. You can see I have this folder now also in my Explorer. This was the file that I edited, and I can also check maybe what happened with it afterwards. I can show the version history of the file, and I can see, well, this was checked in via the WebDAV server, so that was the file with my edits. And then Alex, he changed it, he incorporated the changes. So I can easily see the versions of the file. I can even go back to a previous version if I would like to in DITAToo. So now I go to the PDF. I just still on the P drive. I open the PDF. I think I have to make some comments. If it works, okay. I'll just do something just for the sake of the demonstration. I can add a comment, change this text, and I can also maybe place the image. I'd say that. So I can do all kinds of edits in the PDF. You know about it. But the thing is that I can save it now. Again, back into the database in the output folder that I was working in. Maybe I give it another name. This is not updated, and I make it a reviewed PDF. I could also replace the existing PDF, just update it with the next version. It's saved again. Next step would be there it is. Next step will be to apply it again, assign it to Alex. First, I have to check it in. PDF. Okay, and then I say, well, I change the workflow state of the PDF file, and I say this is review completed, and then Alex should get a message that he can rework the comments. As you can see, when I'm working in the virtual drive, I could also very easily go to a folder and edit the contents, even if I'm not a writer or editor. Suppose I have to do some search and replace in a folder, I can open a file with Notepad, do a search and replace of a certain term. For example, I want to change new product to the product name. Normally there are more sophisticated versions to do that in DITA, but in this phase of the project we can do it manually. So I can do a search and replace in all files in the folder. I place it to DITAToo, and I say, well, just change it in all the files. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to as a developer, and then DITAToo mentioned that if I want to make a change to a file, it has to be checked out first. Okay, I do that. It makes the change for all the files in the folder. And these are only 3 files, but you can imagine if you have lots and lots of files, then it's easy to do. And we will also change the way that now I get a check-in message for every file, but that can also be just one message with apply to all. So I've saved those files. I have to check them in again, check in, and I say changed product name. Okay. Okay. And again, the next release of DITAToo and Virtual Drive, there will be only one box with update information, and I can choose apply to all files in this operation. So now they're all updated. Well, Alex, I can back to you.
Yeah, thank you, Wim. So we're going back to a sunny city of Tel Aviv. And I'm sharing my screen again. So a great thing, as you could see, one of the great things about the virtual drive is that basically because this is the repository that pretends to be your local drive, any application will treat it as if it were a local drive, which means that you can do pretty much the same that you would do with your local drive. For example, you can run a global find and replace in the repository in the same way as you would do it for your local files. Or you can access the files stored in the repository from any application as if they were stored on the local drive. So this is very convenient, we believe. So anyway, now I can use DITAToo to access the PDF commented by Wim and take it from here. You can see this is the file. I can open it directly from DITAToo. And these are the comments that Wim has added. So this is just another way to do reviews. You can choose whatever works best for you, online review, PDF review, or both. That basically concludes the demonstration part of the webinar. and we'll be now happy to get your questions. So please use the chat window to type your questions. Meanwhile, a couple of announcements. Until November the 1st, together with IDTP, we are running a very special promotion for just €3,333. You can get DITAToo for a team for 3 writers and 6 SMEs. So basically, 6 SMEs, these are the guys who will be using the virtual drive without the need to use a full DITAToo. This also includes translation management. If you have a bigger team, then for less than €7,000, you can get DITAToo for 5 writers, 12 SMEs, plus the workflow manager. All licenses are perpetual and include 1 year of support and upgrades. If you're interested, please contact us to request a free trial. Okay, and one of the questions that we've got, if Oxygen XML web editor can be defined as the default editor for DITAToo, the answer is yes. Like I said, DITAToo is data editor agnostic, so you can use any data editor, including online editors, to work with your content. Okay, any other questions? And like I said, we are recording this webinar, and the link to the recording will be sent to you after the meeting. Okay, so as Voltaire said of Saint Denis, working while carrying his own head, the first step is the hard part. So coming out of MS Word that is poorly styled, does your process look at the content itself to do the conversion? Yes, so basically, unlike traditional conversion tools, the conversion algorithm that we've implemented in DITAToo is not based on styles. So if your Word document is properly styled, it's fine. But if not, then you don't have to care either, because DITAToo does not rely on styles. Instead, DITAToo relies on the visual representation of the content. So in the same way as we as humans can say that this is a bullet or this is a table text just by looking at it, right, without having to have a special style applied to it, DITAToo does the same thing. It just looks at the visual representation. So I hope I'm answering the question. Is there more than one root, or one root per project or per doc? What about multiple docs per product set? Okay, so there are many ways how you can deal with it. One way is to specify access permissions on the level of folders. So then you can have a group of users who will have access to a certain set of folders, but they will not be able to see or do anything with other set of folders, right? And for another group of authors, you can just make another set of folders visible. So this is one thing that you can do. Another thing that you can do, so basically you can set up multiple repositories, and then depending on with which repository you want to work, then you just specify a different port or IP address on the server. If it was 2 technical writers sharing instead of a technical writer and a developer, would we need 2 installations of DITAToo, or share and have check-in and check-out control who can edit when? So basically it depends on the roles and responsibilities of your technical writers. So typically, technical writers want to use all content management capabilities. So if they're talking about 2 technical writers, then I would recommend to have 2 installations of DITAToo. So each technical writer would have his or her own DITAToo, right? And 2 DITATOos will connect to the same repository with a shared content. So I hope this answers your questions. Windows access or DITAToo settings? if multiple repositories, how do you reuse content? Oh, if you need to reuse content across the repositories, then I would recommend to use the first approach that I suggested. When you just specify access permissions on the level of folders, and then different
Alex?
users will have different access permissions. Yes, Wim.
Maybe you don't understand, we don't really understand the reason behind the questions, because normally you have one repository for your company or whatever. Mm-hmm. If you work for different companies, one of our clients is a localization agency, and they have separated clients, and they make a database for each separate client. But normally, if you are in one company or one organization, you can use one database, and then you can create folders in the database, like you saw in the DITAToo repository, as many as you like, to create different projects or different subsets or whatever. And inside one database, one repository, you can share anything you want to share. I don't know if that answers your question. Because what we use now in the demo was just a very small, we only had 4 folders for one document, but normally a real life database much bigger. You have maybe separated folders inside the database for different working groups, and those have their own projects or own topics, etc. And inside the database, like Alex mentioned, you can also assign rights to certain people, and that they can use or only see a certain part of the database and not everything. Okay.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, thank you, Bim. Okay, so here's one more question. Does DITAToo use a paradigm similar to Subversion or Git? With Git, I would use many different repositories, even in my own company. Well, it's similar in a sense that when you check out a topic or a file, it becomes locked from modifications by anyone else, and when you check in the file, then it's released and is available to everyone else. But technically speaking, it's not like Subversion or Git. Where is a database server installed? Is it in Tel Aviv or in Utrecht? Okay, in this particular deployment, it's in Tel Aviv. But since you're asking, we've built a distributed architecture dedicated specifically for geographically dispersed teams. When a part of the team is California, another part in New York, and some people are based in the Netherlands, and someone is working from India. So in that case, we're setting up a local server per geographical location, so that each team will work with a server which will be closest geographically. And then there will be one more server that does synchronization, that makes sure that all local servers are actually working with the same content. And what this architecture allows us to achieve is an ability to get rid of any communication lags that you would face when you do a remote connection, for example, from India to a server based in California. So this is a very robust architecture, and the communication will be virtually instant. Okay, random question. Do many of your customers use specialization? Are there any configuration implementation considerations that need to be factored in? We do have customers that use specializations. No, so basically the only thing that you need to take care of is that the customized DTDs would be in your DITA Open Toolkit folder or somewhere, and DITAToo is aware of the location of your specialized DTDs or schemas. So basically, there is no anything specific that you would need to do. Specialization is perfectly supported. Is the distributed architecture available now? Well, basically, we are doing some. I think it will be available. We're first are going to roll it out for the existing customers, so we'll probably do it next week or on the week after the next week. It's a holiday season here in Israel, so it's a kind of tricky. But I think immediately after the holidays, we'll make it available.
Distributed architecture.
Yeah, the distributed architecture. So basically, technically speaking, it's available. It's working. We're doing some final tests, and like I said, we'll make it available maybe next week or on the week after the next week. Okay. Any other questions? Oh, does the rendering speed? There was one question that I missed. Does the rendering speed depend on the size of doc? Are you referring to the rendering of a preview or to publishing of the entire document?
I think the rendering of the original Word document, maybe, or it is something again.
So if you can just filter PDF, so publishing. So yes,
okay.
Basically yes. The bigger the document is, I would assume the more time DITAopen toolkits will require to generate the output.
Yeah, this will depend also largely on your own system setup. If you have lots of memory installed, or if the system has lots of speed, then it will be faster. So it's more like publishing through the OT. That's not it's not DITAToo specific. It's more Open Toolkit specific.
Right. Or any other publishing engine that you use.
Yes, yeah.
If multiple reviewers are reviewing the same topic, how do you keep or show who did the comment after the topic is checked in? Will the topic show all the reviewers' names? Yes. So Wim, since you were doing the review, maybe you can share your screen again and just show in Oxygen on the review pane how the usernames are displayed. See what I mean?
In the review topics.
Yeah, if you go to in Oxygen, you can go to open a topic, just anything.
Open it, yeah, and I can see.
Yeah,
here,
for example, this
right
one
side.
here. Yeah, and now okay, so there are no comments because I've accepted everything. So, but if you can start typing something,
I can make a new content,
yeah,
change.
right.
Okay. The comment here. Okay, sorry, I'm making lots of changes, but you can see here the name of the reviewer, and my name is displayed in the review pane. So if someone else makes a comment or makes a change, it will also be displayed with the other guy's name.
Right.
So, but maybe it addresses another question. If multiple reviewers are reviewing at the same time, it won't work. So they have to review after each other. There's no way to merge two versions of the document. If you know what I mean.
But
so
you don't,
one reviewer opens the file for reviewing, adds the comments, and then saves it again in the database, and the next one opens it and adds his comments or her comments. So then it will show all the comments added.
Right.
And because of well, DITAToo locks the file when it's checked out, so you cannot it cannot be opened with two reviews at the same time.
That's right.
Yeah.
If multiple reviewers review the same PDF, the names are saved. Does this work in DITAToo? So basically, yes. If multiple reviewers review the same topic, for example, their usernames, their user accounts will be all displayed on the right on the review pane. So you always know which change was suggested by whom.
And there's another, if for example, we didn't show it in a demo because it's a bit too much time for previewing, but should you work with FrameMaker as a topic editor, You can create a PDF from FrameMaker, send it out for review, and after review you can just import the comments again in your FrameMaker topic. So then let's say the reviewing of the PDF is an extra step in the FrameMaker workflow for working with data content. It works very well as well.
Yep.
All right. So all those things, the reviewing, etc., it for a big part depends on the tools you use for the review itself. And you can use any tools that you use currently in your organization or add new tools or whatever. And they set the limits on what's possible and what's not possible in the end.
Right. Topic IDs. Can you force regeneration in case of duplicates? So basically what happens if you create a new topic from within DITAToo, then DITAToo automatically assign the ID that will be absolutely unique throughout the repository. However, technically speaking, it's not a problem to have topics with the same ID as long as they do not appear in the same map. Right, so if you just have multiple topics with the same ID in the repository, but you're not referring to these topics from the same map, it's not a problem. It's fine. Now, forcing regeneration is currently not what DITAToo could offer, but if this is an issue, we can definitely add it to the roadmap. So I'll be happy to discuss this with you. Any other questions? Sometimes authors copy and reuse, so you get duplicated. Yes, I understand where it's coming from. Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay,
if you branch a topic in DITAToo, create a new topic based on an existing topic inside DITAToo, then it will create a new idea.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. DITAToo has quite a few possibilities to branch both individual topics and entire data maps. Yeah. So I'll be happy if you're interested. I'll be happy just to have a one-on-one session with you and demonstrate how it works. No, not copy and paste the content. Just to use branching, but we can discuss it separately. Okay. Any other questions? So like I said, the recording will be available after the event, and we're going to send you a follow-up email with a link to the recording. So if there are no other questions, I think we can wrap up. Thank you very much to everyone who's attended. We hope that the webinar was helpful and useful. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us. Am I still sharing my screen?
No, I don't think so.
No.
You better take it over.
Right. Okay. So this is it.
Okay.
So this is our contact information. If you are interested to learn more about DITAToo, Virtual Drive, about other features that the product provides, just drop us a line, let us know, and we'll be happy to have a personalized demo just for you. So thank you very much. Have a great day, and looking forward to hearing from you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you. Wayman, special thanks go to you.
Yeah, thank you, Alex.
Thank you, partner.
We'll talk about the graphic design later. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much.
Thanks.